Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the exact, very simple yet effective contract that I have been using at my paid ads agency for the last 3 years. This is the same exact contract that we have used over the past 3 years to generate our clients close to $20 million in revenue. By the end of this video, you'll be able to copy the same exact contract and tweak it to your service offering as well as your niche. So I highly implore you that you watch this video till the end, because if you watch it till the end and you understand this contract, you'll essentially just need to do it one time and not have to change it for maybe the next 1 to 3 years. Just like us, for example, we've been using this contract for the last 3 years, and once we understand it, all we have to do is swap the actual client's name as well as the amount that we charge them. So do yourself a favor, watch this video till the end, because again, you're gonna need to just understand it once and then it'll be set for the next few years. Now, this is just one of 15 videos in our free SMMA training available in our school community. So if after watching this video you find it valuable, I recommend that you click the link in the description and join our free school community. As a member of this free school community, you not will only get access to in-depth training as to how to start and scale a marketing agency, but you're also going to get access to all the downloadable material that I personally use at my agency, just like this exact contract. Furthermore, you're going to be able to go ahead and ask me any questions you may have along your agency journey and get an answer from me within the same day. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the training. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and give you the exact template that we have used at the agency for the last 3 years to generate well over $2.5 million in revenue. You know, oftentimes when it comes to the contract, a lot of agency owners complicate it, when in reality, it doesn't have to be that complicated. So not only am I going to go ahead and give you the exact template that you can use, but I'm actually going to go ahead and give you this other document which shows you in real time the exact version of this contract that we send to our clients. Okay, so again, keep in mind, this contract, you're obviously going to unplug your name here, you know, your agency, you're going to change the title depending on what it is that you're offering. Again, the different services on what you're offering. But this document right here is the same thing. The only difference is that this is the services that we offered for this client in particular, as well as my information plugged in. That way you can see exactly what a final piece looks like. The only thing obviously is going to be different is the services you're providing, your agency name, and your name. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the contract doesn't have to be that complicated, as I said. This contract in particular is going to save you from any legal trouble. And the reason you guys don't want to go ahead and complicate the contract is because even with this contract being very simple, I've had one client in the past who still questioned me about what this stuff means. They're like, okay, well, what does this mean? And what does this mean? And the reason people feel that way when it comes to contracts is that, contract has a bad connotation associated with it. This is why you'll see we never use contract in here. We use agreement, okay? Because the word contract has bad connotation with it. People automatically associate contract with being locked into some sort of long-term agreement. So we just like to use the term agreement as opposed to contract. And the reason you want to make it simple is because you want to remove any friction between the client agreeing to move forward with you and paying you or not. Because as you'll see, someone is not considered a client until they sign the contract and make the payment. So we want to make this as frictionless as possible. So again, you don't need to complicate this. I know you can go into ChatGPT and say, write me a contract for a social media marketing agency that offers, let's say, Facebook ads at $2,000 a month plus 10% of revenue. And it'll spit you out this very thorough contract. The issue with that, guys, is that it's going to use these big terms that your client, might not feel comfortable with. So you want to make it as simple as possible. This contract does that, okay? So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Keep in mind, anything that is in blue that says your name or your agency, you're going to go ahead and change it to obviously your name or your agency. And we're going to go back and forth between the actual contract versus the contract that, I've updated to reflect my information. So first thing here we have is the title, okay? 90-day paid advertising plus ad creative agreement. If you're not offering ad creatives, you can just say 90-day paid ads. Or if you're offering email marketing, you can say 90-day email marketing, okay? Maybe you're doing it for 1 month or month to month, whatever the case may be. Update it to reflect exactly what you're offering. First line says, this agreement will outline the expectations from this program and what you can expect from your agency. Okay, so here you'll put your agency. As you guys can see here, this agreement outlines, in this case, it was a 4-month. I put expected from MJ at SF Analytica. Obviously, you want to go ahead and use your full name, okay, your full legal name. Next is what is and then insert your service name. So over here we said, what is paid advertising? So the first line, the first part of the contract is that we're telling them what is this agreement, because you might start working with these people and then they might say, well, you didn't do this, and we tell them, well, this is not what the agreement is. The agreement is this right here. Okay, so you want to identify what is this agreement. Okay, what is this contract? In this case, this agreement is a service where your agency will test, optimize, manage, and scale paid ads on ad platform names here, campaigns. So here what we're telling them, here you'll add the different campaigns. So let's say you're doing Klaviyo or you're doing Facebook ads or TikTok, whatever the case may be. This is a service where your agency will test, optimize, and scale Facebook ads campaign. Okay, and then here, this 9-day program is the first step in scaling your business and bringing consistent sales through our marketing efforts. Okay, so over here, explain exactly what the service is. Now, next step is, what does the program include? Okay, so this program, what does it include? And if I have not said it, I do want to give credit where credit is due. I actually got this contract from a program that I took about 2 years ago. Obviously, I've updated it and changed a few things, but I did get this contract from a program that I took a few days ago, which I think is really great because it simplifies everything. Nonetheless, here you want to list out what the program includes. So the first thing is, what does the program include? Include all the things that you're going to offer, okay? And the reason this is important, because you want to have a black and white as to what you're offering and what you're not offering. Okay, so as you can see here, these are just some things that we've listed. If we go to this example right here, it's very much the same with the exception of a few things. So here we listed out all the things that we offer, and then here we want to go ahead and say this program does not include. Okay, now if you offer these services that you're going to write here at a separate fee, then you can go ahead and say at a separate service. But if you don't offer them, period, you can just say this program does not include, in this case, setting up social media platforms, ad monitoring, social media strategy, growth strategy, and then add any other services here. So again, you want to have a black and white line between what you offer and what you don't offer, because the last thing you want to do is your client saying, hey man, we're getting a bunch of angry comments. People are, cussing us out on our comments. Or, it doesn't have to be something that dramatic, but let's say, people are commenting on our ads, and, why didn't you reply back to them? And it's like, well, this is not what we do. Our job is to run your ads. It's not to monitor the comments. If that's something that you want to do, then, we can add another fee to it. Or if you just don't do it at all, then that's something else. So you want to have a clear line as to what you offer and what you don't offer. Okay, so that's this part right here. Okay, now next part is, what's the timeline? Okay, the reason this is important, because you want to give people the expectation, the people you're working with, the expectation as to what they can look forward to in terms of timeline. So over here we say, after signing the contract and providing the necessary assets, we will go over a strategy call. After the strategy session, your ads will be live in X amount of days. So if we take a look at the real-time contract that we have here, after you have signed the contract, provided necessary assets, we will go to work and put together the first round of creatives within 3 to 5 days. Your official start date will start the day the ads are live. So as you guys can see here, I gave you this right here, but you're going to need to modify it to fit exactly what you're offering. In my case, we actually have to put the creatives together for the client, okay? So they provide us with the marketing material, and we actually have our team of 6 creators go ahead and put together these different creatives. So we have to tell them, once you provide us the work, first round of creatives is going to take 3 to 5 days, and then once the ads go live is when your first day will officially start. Because we want to go ahead and make sure we mark the 30-day, because we're charging them a percentage of revenue. So we want to make sure to tell them that the day starts the day your ad go live, and then the creatives are going to take 3 to 5 days to actually put together. So that is this right here, the timeline of the project. Make sure you update it according to your timeline and the services that we offer. Now here comes the meat of the contract, really, which talks about how does the payment work. Okay, so I'll go over this and then I'll share with you guys exactly how my contract looks like. Okay, so this agreement is for a 3-month paid advertising service with the amount paid up front. Here you would go ahead and put the amount, which will cover a 3-month monthly fee. After each 30-day cycle, percentage of revenue that is generated is going to be paid at the end of 30-day cycle. So let's take a look at this first part and dissect it. So the way I work with my clients, I don't know if you do this or not, but this client in particular, we charged we gave them a discount. If they paid everything up front, we gave them a discount. So instead of paying $7,500, $2,500 every single month, we said if you make a one-time payment, you're only going to pay $4,500. So they agreed to that, so we had to make sure we reflect that in the contract. So what we said here is that this agreement for a 3-month paid service is $4,500 paid upfront, which is going to cover 3 months worth of fees. Now, aside from this $4,500, after 30-day cycle period, you are going to pay us 10% of the revenue that we generate at the end of the 30-day cycle. Straightforward, telling them $4,500 plus 10% of the revenue that we generate you. Now, let's say when we talked to them on the sales call, they didn't agree to the 3 month. They want to do month to month. Then we would change this to say $2,500 paid at the first of every month, or at the first day of the cycle, and then 10% paid at the end of the 30-day cycle. So this is the first part of the contract. Now, over here, what I actually added this because most of the clients that I work with actually take that offer. Okay, most of the clients that we work with, they don't want to just work for 1 month. They know that it's a long-term game, or at least we do a good job of communicating that and explaining to them that this is a long-term game. So the reason I have this in here is because most people don't want to pay $7,500 over 3 months. They'd rather pay $4,500, one-time fee. So we tell them that this amount, which is the $4,500, is a one-time payment plus percentage of generated sales are agreed upon, but is subject to be negotiated and changed by both parties after 3 months of the day that the ads are launched. So essentially what we're telling them here is that after the 3 months from the day the ads are launched, this amount plus the percentage is going to be negotiated by both parties. Now, the reason we do that, guys, is because this is a discount that we're giving them. They went from $7,500 to $4,400. So what we want to do here is we want to let them know that we're going to renegotiate this, okay? Like if you decide to do month to month, this is going to go back to $7,500 to $2,500 a month. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we include this in here because we don't want to, after 3 months, they say, "Well, I didn't know that you guys were going to charge me still month to month after this 3 months. I thought $4,500 was a one-time payment, not just for 3 months." So include it in here just so you don't encounter any of these issues. Now, the next part of the contract here is that we say the services provided by your agency for our clients involves intangible intellectual property. Once the work has commenced, it becomes an irrevocable part of your possession, belonging exclusively to you. This is why we do not provide refunds once the work has commenced. It is important to note that the program officially begins on the day that the strategy session marketing the initiation of our collaboration. So essentially what we're telling them here, the point of this is that we're telling them there's no refunds. Okay, now granted, I've had one client in the past that I had to refund just because I wanted to end on good terms, but you want to have this in your contract, okay? That way you don't end up, having to refund. And we're telling them this is intangible intellectual property that you own, okay? Shoot, let me go back. We can't refund it to you. The day that we start, there's no such thing as refund. Now, after 3 months, if you decide to stop working with us, that's totally fine. But don't come back to us and say you want a refund, okay? So this is exactly what we mean here, okay? That we want to make sure that we tell them the services that provided by our agency, you'll put your agency name here, is something that is not refundable, okay? Once you sign the contract, once you make the payment. Lastly, we want to go ahead and basically, tell them that by signing this document below, you affirm you understand of these terms, which state that the program sales are non-refundable. Moreover, you waive the rights to initiate chargeback with your credit card processor for your payment. So very much similar to what we're saying here, basically telling them that, once you sign, you're going to affirm the fact that you understand all of these terms that we mentioned and that this is non-refundable. And on top of that, you're not going to go ahead and do a chargeback, with your card. The reason you want to have this, guys, is because, let's say someone, does a chargeback on their Amex. Well, guess what? Both of you guys are going to need to provide proof that, the chargeback should or should not have been made. And the fact that you have this in your contract is going to help you tremendously because the client the credit card processor is going to know that they signed the contract knowing that they're going to waive any right that they can initiate a checkout. And let's say they do take you to court, which again, I don't think will happen. I mean, this amount is very little to take someone to court, but let's say they do take you to court. This is going to be in your favor, okay? The fact that you told them that they waived their rights to initiate a chargeback. So as you guys can see, it's such a simple contract, okay? Literally one page, okay? But it outlines everything that you need. We covered what the program includes. We covered the name of the program, what the program includes. We covered the timeline, how the payment works, how much the payment is, and then we officially made it official by telling them there's no fees, there's no refunds, and there's no chargebacks. And then here we have a client name, client signature, and date. I'm actually going to go ahead and open a HelloSign document, HelloSign, which is a document, the software that we use to actually sign these contracts, and show you once you actually go ahead and input your information. So let's say in our case, it is going to be this document right here. Let's say this is the contract that we're sending to the client. When you upload it to HelloSign, all you're going to need to do is actually just drag the name, drag the signature, and drag the date, input their email, and send it to them. And when you send it to them, they're going to be able to actually go ahead and sign, add their name, and add the date. Click submit, and you'll get a copy, and they'll get a copy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly what that looks like right now. All right, guys. So what you're going to do first is, like I said, you're going to create a copy of this contract. And then once you create a copy of the contract, you're going to go ahead and create another copy because you want to have the contract. You want to have the actual contract, okay, which is this right here. And then you need to create another copy for that specific client because when you come back and you have another client, you want to refer back to this contract that actually is the original one. Or you can, come back to this video and download it again. Nonetheless, once you have the contract ready, so like I said, we're going to use this one. You want to go ahead and click download, and let's do a PDF. So it'll go ahead and download it right there. And then you come into HelloSign, which is going to be one of the softwares that we actually tell you need to use, but I'm going to do an example for you here. You open HelloSign, click upload contract, and this is so awesome, you guys. All you got to do is upload it, and as mentioned in the video, you upload 3 contracts per month for free. So if you get only 3 clients per month, the software is free. If not, I think it's like $8 or $14. Again, once you upload it, you'll see right here, MJ example contract. You'll click on next, and here we're going to add the name. So let me just go ahead and type in my name. Okay, my email. This is actually for your name, so let's go ahead and copy this. So put this here, put MJ, okay, do that, okay, great. So now we have the name as well as the address, and we'll go ahead and click next. So this is what's cool, guys, look at this. All you got to do is basically drag and drop the placements, right, the signature field. So this is the contract. It'll show you what it looks like. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and what's cool is we already added the lines here. Okay, so see here, client name. So you're going to go ahead and take this and drag it and just position it right there. So full name. And then client signature, you're going to find, let's see, where is signature? So right here, so signature. And we're going to go ahead and drag and drop it right here. And then you're going to go ahead and take date and drag and drop it right here. Okay, so now we have the full name, the client signature, and the date. Once we have that, we're going to go ahead now and click on next. So make sure that you're only going to download the contract once you've thoroughly went over it, because once you upload it in here, you can't change anything. All you can do is add these placements. So again, once you add the placements, we're going to go ahead and click on next. And now it's gonna say the email to signers. So who is the email that you're actually sending it to? So signer here, we have MJ. Here, title. So we'll just go ahead and copy this. We'll do this, the name of the contract, paste it here. And then, here you can write your message. Hey, please sign contract. Obviously, you want to, write something more thorough, add please and thank you. But nonetheless, here's the message that they're going to receive. And then here's going to be the title, the email subject line. All right. And then you're going to go ahead and click send for signature. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and send it. And once it's set, you'll actually be able to see all your documents here. So if we go to this, we can see this is the document right here. And you'll actually be able to see in your dashboard if they viewed the contract, right? So if they open the email, it's going to show you. And also, if they sign it, it's going to let you know. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly the contract that we have used over, the past 3 years. I'm glad you made it this far into the video. Please take time to actually make this look good, because again, this is one thing that you're going to do once and then not to have to worry about ever again. Only thing you'll need to do is tweak it if you start adding different services, or if you change your pricing. With that said, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next training.